Am I the a-hole for laughing in my SIL's face when she DNA tested my daughter? I, a 30-year-old man, have a 6-year-old daughter. I am not biologically related to her at all. There is no blood relation between us. I was friends with her mother for most of my childhood. We were never romantically involved and were always just friends. She had her daughter at 23 with her 25-year-old husband. When my daughter was a newborn, about 3 months old, both her mother and father were killed. I won't go into too much detail for privacy reasons, but it was a workplace shooting. My friend and her husband had worked in the same building and were both unalived. Both my friend and her husband had grown up in less than ideal families and didn't have any siblings, so there wasn't any next of kin for their daughter. However, because I was close with them, I was able to adopt her. Even though I had been iffy about the idea of having kids, I didn't want their daughter to grow up in foster care or around people who didn't have a connection to her biological parents, so I stepped in. My parents and siblings know that my daughter is not biologically mine. My daughter, whom I'll call Lily for this post, also knows that she's adopted. I never really hid the fact that she was adopted. She knows her parents are dead and were killed by a bad man, but I'm saving the full details for when she's older. Lily does not look like me at all. She looks exactly like her mother and biological dad. Most people assume that I'm her biological dad and that she just took after her mom. I don't usually correct this when people assume it because it just seems unnecessary. My brother has been with his fiancée for about 2 years now. A few weeks ago, we were all meeting up at my parents' house, and my sister-in-law saw an old picture of me, my friend, and her husband. She pointed to my friend and asked who she was, and I explained that she was Lily's mother. My sister-in-law got quiet and stood in front of the picture for a while. I didn't think much of it. To clarify, she knows my friend died, but I guess she didn't know that my friend had been married or that Lily is not my biological daughter. I suppose she assumed Lily was my daughter and my friend's biological child. My sister-in-law got a DNA test done on Lily behind my back. She used my brother's DNA for the test, and when it came back that they weren't related, she knew that meant Lily and I weren't related. She came up to me with the results and waved them in my face, saying that I was taking care of a dead woman's affair baby. She said this to me in front of my daughter. I just stared at her for a while before bursting out laughing. I told her I knew Lily wasn't my biological daughter and that this thing called adoption exists. Her face went red, and she stormed off. My brother is mad that I embarrassed his fiancée, but I said she embarrassed herself by DNA testing a kid that isn't hers and then parading the results in front of me. What did she want me to do? What was her goal with this? Did she want me to break down and abandon my daughter? My brother said she thought she was doing the right thing and called me an asshole. I don't feel like the asshole, especially considering my sister-in-law was the one who stuck her nose where it doesn't belong. I'm asking for Reddit opinions, mostly just for validation, so was I the asshole?